Hike the Appalachian Trail. This is an integer thematic unit, so it's a lot of fun for the students. It takes about 2 weeks to complete, depending on the time that you have, and it's a good review of integers because integers are something that the students will continue to struggle with seventh grade, eighth grade, all the way into high school. So it's a really important topic to review. So students are going to start here. This is a digital copy on Google Slides. And they're going to start with the instructions. So they're going to read background about the trail. It's a trail that goes from Georgia to Maine in the United States. They're going to choose their supplies and stay within their budget, solve integer problems to earn more money for the trail, and choose their backpacking experience. It's kind of a choose your own adventure. They're going to write about it in a journal, and they're going to take photos. So they're going to import photos from Google. Slide 3 shows just a visual of the trail. So here's Georgia. Most people start in Georgia and they end in Maine, although a few people will go the opposite direction. It's a walking trail. It's over 2,000 miles long. It covers 14 different states. So it begins usually in Georgia and ends at Mount Catadine in the state of Maine. They're going to hike through some of the most beautiful scenery in the world. There are through hikers, people that will hike the entire trail, taking a few months to do so, or section hikers that will come back each year and hike a different section of the trail until they've completed the entire trail. So if you want to hike the Appalachian Trail, be prepared. So this just gives them some instructions about how to begin. They've saved $1,200 for their hike. They're going to choose their supplies from a list, use a calculator to add up all their costs, and then they can earn more money. As they solve integer problems, they'll earn more money for their trip. And so let's go on to supplies. So these are all of their supplies that they can buy. They've got a tent, a backpack, sleeping bag, boots. They've got to think about what they need. And each one has a number, a red number attached to the item. So when they fill out their supply list, they have the number, item number, what it is, how much it costs, the unit cost, and total cost if they buy more than one. Now, this can be done digitally or it can be done on paper in a printable copy. So if they do it digitally, they're just going to fill this out. And they're going to start with $1,200, how much they spend, and then how much they have at the end. So each item they purchase is the item number, how many they're buying, the unit price, and the total price, and then the grand total down here. So there are printable copies if the students prefer to do it that way. Then they're going to read about Georgia. Okay. After they read about the state, then they've got kind of a choose your own adventure. So they've got two different scenarios that they can choose from. Either a bear approaches their tent in the night, or they go to Hiwassee, which is a former Cherokee village, to go for some fun. So if you do this digitally, they just click on the tent and it'll take them to the slide that tells them what happens to them. This is also available in a printable form, so if you'd rather do it that way, you can print out each one of these. So the first one, if a bear approaches their tent, this is what happens to them. So this is what they're going to write about in their journal. And if it costs them money, they have to subtract that money from their total. If they get money, in different scenarios, they might actually earn some more money. They need to add that to their total. If they pick the second choice, go to Hiwassee, this is what happens to them. Now they have a journal. There's either digital or printable. They can just type in here, double click in here, and they can write about what happened to them. Or you can print out the printable copy and they can just write it at their desk, turn it in to you. Now when they get to slide 12, and this is all about Georgia still, they're just finishing Georgia, they're going to import pictures to put in these 3 white boxes. So to do that, you can show them how to do it. They're just going to click on Insert, Image, and search the web. So they want pictures that have to do with Georgia and hiking trails, mountains, So they could type in hiking trails in Georgia. And then all these pictures come up. So they can choose the picture they want. I would pick something that's more of a square. Click on it and then click insert. And when it comes up on their screen, it's going to look like this. It's going to be a little bit too large. So they want to go into the corner where they've got this little blue box, click and hold, and then kind of move toward the center, and that'll make it smaller. So they want it to fit in the square. Now, to turn it, there's a little blue circle here. They just click and hold, and then they can turn that picture so it fits. Still a little bit too large, so they just keep playing with it until the picture fits the screen. And they're going to do this with each section of the trail. They're going to have 3 different pictures. Now, the next thing that they're going to do is try to earn some money solving integer problems. So the first set of problems are integer chips. And this is a review of how integer chips work. They're going to be adding with these red and yellow chips. This can also be done in a printable version. So if you want students to actually draw the yellow and the red chips, you can do that. But they're going to line these up, take out the 0 pairs to show their answer, and they're going to type in the answer here. Each time they complete integer problems, you're going to grade it. You're going to give them $20 for every correct answer, so they can add that to their next supply list. Then they're going to read about North Carolina and Tennessee, which is the next section of the trail. They have to buy at least 10 items each time they fill out a supply list. So again, here are the supplies. I'm going to fill out a new supply list. Read about the next section of the trail, and then they get a new choose your own adventure. So it just keeps going like this. They're going to repeat the same activities for each section of the trail. When they finish, they get a little congratulations. They made it to Mount Cantadine. You hike the Appalachian Trail. So it's a lot of fun. It takes a little time, but the students really enjoy it, and they learn a lot from this also. So hike the Appalachian Trail, an integer thematic unit.